on the defense here. Red team, Utopia on the attack. Blue team, how do you see this one going, Mojo?
Nice camos there on both sides. Interesting ones. That's what I see at the moment. Papa Pavian doing an aggressive spot in the middle with his RU. Of course, that is his duty in this kind of game. I doubt there is seriously anyone who can even endanger him in doing so. That tier 9 Artian still going with both Mrakar and Rulezik there on 3 line. That's what I call bold.
Cheeky.
Because tier 9 Arti can really do a number of them, and there is nothing that Utopia can actually do to punish them.
Papa Powan could be amazing if you got one-shotted, if you got Papa Powan dying to artillery. Considering Papa Powan is such a demon when he plays artillery, having him getting taken out by artillery when he's in the light would be quite funny.
It's called karma. It's called karma.
Just trying to work out who's been changed in the eSuba lineup, because normally what was happening is Lucan and Ukets were swapping in and out with each other, so somebody else is not there who's normally in the team.
Well, their top damage dealers are, so we will not really worry ourselves about it. At the moment, Utopia just chose to change the ground of fighting, which I expected from the start, honestly, that they will play from the village side with this. And eSuba, they're taking it easy, but they do not have a big rotational force. So, as I said, having only 3 butchats might really bite them in the end.
Artillery taking aim to where he thinks someone is. It's quite far up there though compared to his own team, but nobody from Utopia is on that side of the map.
Important thing is, honestly, eSuba doesn't really have to commit for a decapping action here, because they have tier 9 Arti with a huge splash, so he will hit someone capping all the time. And you cannot risk much health when you're playing from that side. So Utopia, Mrakar dodging here. You can see how he's positioning himself on the upper side of this building, so he doesn't really get wrecked. I reckon that eSuba should have invested some time in maybe spamming HE shells in that forest, those buildings.
Take them out?
Yeah, like Lukin and 1 or 2 more guys could have just emptied something and just, you know, lower the places where Utopia can actually hide.
Now, for the people who don't know, Mojo, why HE shells into the buildings?
HE shells have actually a splash radius, so if you hit the center of the building, there is a chance to actually break the 2 pieces of that. So you can see a splash by tier 9 Arti. It's kind of bigger than from Lorraine, let's say like that.
To kill half the buildings around it.
Still, a few hundred damage only done, no driver dead. First time I've seen it. Like usually, anything happens to the next I7, you lose a driver.
I think we might be going in for a triple cap here, but eSuba would be able to react to this and come back through the middle. So Utopia are going to get the defensive line set up initially before then sending people into the cap circle so they can get vision across the rest of the battlefield here. Well,
Grilla cannot cap and they still need people elsewhere so they can protect themselves and see the Utopia coming. Utopia is taking a really long detour here, rather risky, and especially if it's a triple cap. I mean, relying solely on Arti and maybe Ukets approaching there on time, risky.
Maraka, I mean, Lucan's spotted, Ukets is not spotted yet, but the rest of eSuba, I mean, they're countering back now. It is a 3-man cap, we're down to 20 seconds. Lucan and Ukets are going to have to be the only ones to reset. Pratilicek might be able to get over in time. We're down to 15 seconds. He should have enough time to get over in the middle, and there's nobody there to actually stop him. It'll need to be one hell of a shot. Rulizek is spotted. He's going to get hit by Arti here. It's going to hurt. Yep, 714. He gets ammo racked as well, so that's a reset coming in. Back to 22 seconds as the season moves forward. Maraka's spotted. Now the rest of eSuba are starting to come over to get a reset. Mucka on the grill gets the kill on Ukets, however. Utopia have the tank advantage. They have tanks in the base. It's down to 4 seconds. There's no reset coming in here, Mojo. They're going to get a cap.
This is looking
There we go. First cap. There we go.
This is looking really good for them.
They've done it. Easy peasy. Utopia, 10,000 health. All their tanks still alive. And the cap. Similar circumstance to what we saw, although not quite the same way that was Gohard did it.
But I don't really understand, like, eSuba playing like that. Okay, you can do all the kind of rotations and everything, but they were just pointlessly driving around. They were not really gaining any ground. They were not doing anything. You cannot rely solely on Kranwagen and RT to decap, as I said. Like you have to have tanks close, so if they're pushed, if they're damaged, you have an alternative solution. They're far away.
Yeah.
You cannot allow that.
It's like I say, you got to have. I mean, what do? You either wait patiently and try and do like we're going to do a timed reset. We're going to rely on that one person, or do you just throw everyone in there? Because if that one person fails, you've lost the match. If everyone goes in there and dies, then you lose the match. But you at least get the bloody cap reset. Losing to a cap reset when you still have so many tanks on the battlefield generally just shouldn't happen.
Their ABCs were all wrong because you cannot rely only on Kranwagen to peak and just do all the job by himself. We know that he's weak when he turns his cupola. Grille penned him both times when he shot him. So he was pretty much annihilated, taken out of the picture. There were nowhere, budgets were nowhere to be found unless, I mean, they should have just have budgets driving along the rail and they would see the targets for RT, and then you have other tanks ready to counterattack over rail, start the fight, and then UTOPIA has to leave it. That's about it.
Well, let's have a look at the damage done in that round and see where it all came from for the people who did get shots in. UK's actually coming out top there in the Kramwagen. He got his 4 shots off, but I mean that just tells the entire story of this match. The top damage dealer is an autoloader who managed to get a clip off.
Yeah, it's just like 4 shots he did, and he even didn't have the greatest rolls, you can see there, for his alpha. But the rest of guys were pretty much out of the game. Grille, he connected 2 shots out of those 3.
7th place was 400 damage. I mean,
look at this, like half of the map didn't even shoot on anyone.
Yeah, like they were. eSuba were not in position at all to do any damage here. It's insane. Like 5 tanks from their team, all in 0 damage. Like, guys, don't leave that cap running. You have to throw bodies at it to reset it. You can't just rely on 1 or 2 people to do it.
I'm gonna be blunt. At the moment, eSuba is 6th only by 1 means. They have the same number of points as Oops. So the only thing differing them at the moment is, I think, difference in won or lost games. But if they keep playing like this, they're on a constant fall in last games. They're not picking up the games. We need them to pick up the games because after that initial start they had, they are just going down. It looks like most of the teams got used how eSuba plays, and eSuba just didn't pull out any new rabbits out of the hat since then.
Yep, well, can they do something here on round 2 of Prokhorovka? Let's have a look at the lineups, Mojo. You can see the vehicles being used here from both teams, and is there anything special here?
eSuba is attacking with Kranwagen. Okay, that's not something we see that often. They also have a Lorraine RT piece. UTOPIA on defense, playing only with STRV, so that's good for controlling the forest side. We've seen it multiple times. E5, I7. It's a strong defensive lineup. I would maybe take Kranwagen rather than E5, but still, even that single shooter is good enough.
A Lorraine. I mean, we've seen Lorraine's trying to be used in attack before and getting picked off really quite quickly at the start. Yeah, Prokhorovka's turned into quite a strange map recently.
Well, strange is not bad. Not boring is good.
Indeed, indeed. Just because someone's strange, it doesn't mean it's bad, or they're bad even. That's what a poor choice of words there from me. Okay, so UTOPIA 1, eSuba 0, round 2 of Prokhorovka. Let's jump into the action where eSuba on the red side are going to be attacking and UTOPIA on the blue team are going to be defending. I don't know. I mean, eSuba... Oh, what's this? Okay, they're boosting Maraca to go faster.
There's nothing to boost,
No?
man.
What
I have no idea what are they doing.
Is that a reset?
It does look like it.
It looks like it's got reset written all over it.
I don't know, man.
Yep. Called it.
Good for you, Ryan.
I was like, what are they trying to do here? Is there an IS-7 boost that I don't know about? Is there some kind of crazy boost? Are they doing something new? But no, everyone moved and stopped. Don't know what's going to happen, or we don't know what's going to happen. We do know what's going to happen. We're going to get the teams back in order and get the match restarted. We don't know why there's a reset at the moment. We will try and get that information as quick as possible, fixed whatever the issue is. And then we can get ready and get back in the action.
So Mrakar crashed, so we will wait for him to get sorted out. But as far as we saw, they're trying to play the wood side. No one was spotted, so really there is no danger in doing anything. So they can just play the same game again, because we know there is a 10 minutes delay here, and everything that happens in that time will just not be visible on the stream live. So it's rather safe for them to just repeat the same action.
Yep, if nothing's been seen and been spotted. I think if a tank gets spotted, then everything has to... something changes, no?
If you get spotted or shot, everyone has to play. There is no more.
Playing. So if someone's disconnected, then you're playing with 6
Tough.
people.
Yep.
Yeah, because that nearly happened before in one tournament. I think somebody just about got spotted and there was a call for a reset or an issue and people thought they were stalling. I can't remember. It might have been actually one of the Moscow Rumbles or something like that.
Those rules were introduced because of the awkward situations that were happening in old seasons. So it's in my eyes, it's a normal rule. Like if nothing happens in the first 30 seconds and you play normal, if something happens later, that's a risk you take as a player. That's about it. Can you imagine on, let's say, some other game on Counter-Strike, like a player drops mid-game and you call for restart? Did you ever see it? No, it doesn't happen.
Yep. And I mean, we're purely at the mercy of the servers and the players at the moment. Everyone can say like, hey, get into the battle, but we can't get into the battle if the players are not ready. It doesn't work that way. We're not in control. We're just commentating and hosting the show.
We are in control, Ryan.
We are in control. Okay, launch the game! No, see, it doesn't happen.
I guess we is the wrong word then.
Okay, if you're not in control, I mean, we can wake up Daki. He's sleeping under the desk, but...
Kick him.
No, nothing coming from...
He's a hard sleeper, man.
He does. He sleeps almost as heavy as you. He snores really loud. They share a room with Daki in New York, and he snores.
The amount
really
of
loud.
experience you guys share.
Hey, Mojo, one day I'll share a room with you.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. You and Daki deserve each other.
No, I'm telling you, honestly, if I had to go to another... Daki, you're a fantastic person, but as been said before, if I have to go to another event, which means sharing a room with Daki, I've already said, I'm not going to go, because it was just too loud.
Just be prepared.
And it didn't matter what side he was sleeping on. Like, crazy snoring. Crazy snoring.
Well, it does look like Mrakar will take a while to come back in the game, so I guess we can see another part of that video we were making before.
The other part of the video.
The wisdoms of Ruinberg.
So what is is it also about Ruinberg?
Yep, just another kind of place.
Okay, well, let's have a look-see at that video.
Welcome back, guys. Last time we saw some Ruinberg tactics, and today we will look at some more. So let's get into it. Let's take a look. We have the TVP from Kazna here, blind firing A7. Same with the IS-4, Gwille, and FE 4005. They are trying to clear out the northern area so they can approach the cap and peek safely. The CDC here from Kazna is used in an interesting way, as you will see. Then last but not least, there's a TVP in B3 who can catch anybody trying to drive through the A-line, where teams sometimes try to send a scout to block off the cap. The last tank from Kazna is the Bacha, who is spotting the entire eastern side for any possible rotations. We can see Kuritz here in the bushes, which will get blind fire, but he survives luckily enough, which is very crucial because he keeps spotting the tanks from Kazna and they keep receiving damage every time they peek, which is a great thing for Ding. We can follow Isne here in the CDC, who drives through a safe position so he can be flipped. He also has no ammo in his tank, so in theory he can't be ammo racked. No ammo, no ammo rack. The reason for this is to flip him is so that the rack is taller. That way you can't hit the turret of the IS-4 when he gets onto the cap. You can see Haiba here on the cap, and he's pretty safe normally versus shots coming in. They have sacrificed a lot of HP and time to get to this cap. They just have 3 minutes left and they have taken damage across the board. And there are even resets coming in from time to time from the guys from Ding. You can see the angle here from the perspective of INTEL onto the IS-4. Because of the way the model works when it is destroyed, he can actually shoot under the wreck because the tracks don't count. And you can see he resets him over and over. Now Kazna crew is running out of time. All this game, Kuriz has been the main factor. He keeps spotting anybody from Kazna that peeks because they didn't manage to blind fire him. In the meantime, Mary is supporting from the little city, and we can see that Elian and Breakneck are making a flank all the way around to try and get angles onto the side of the Kazna crew tanks. Oops here has a lineup to do what Kazna did, but instead they decide to try and change it up. They will try to park the CDC in front of the Bacha so they can shield him and they can kill the tanks going down the zero line. It's a mind game. So far, so good for them. Tactic seems to work as they kill 2 tanks. Let's see what happens because it's not quite over yet. Like I said, at this moment in time, Oops lose the round. Algo drives away because he thought they were unspotted, which they weren't. As a result, they lose the CDC, they will lose the Batchat as well, completely swinging the round towards Gohard. So let's take a look at the map. Because they lost the zero line fight against the tanks from Gohard, they have no control. All the tanks in the south, which are TDs, which aren't great to retake positions, are completely out of the fight. They can't really move. All this time as well, Miloš is pretty much caught out in the eastern side of the map, and Gohard doesn't have to do anything. So we saw in the first video interesting ways to try and break the Ruinberg defense. You saw it in this video as well, with a little bit of mind games again. It worked out a little bit, it worked out badly in one case. But I hope this helps you into understanding the Ruinberg tactics and in any future matches you might play.
And welcome back, folks. Now it seems that the teams are ready to go. Did you have a look at the lineups, Mojo? Don't think we had a look at the lineups yet. For
I
round
think
2
we'll
here.
just go straight to the match when the time comes, but we already saw them when they were loading in the last game.
Yes, because okay,
It's rather normal because we were in the game.
that's right. Yep, because it was a crash at the start and we had done everything there. So yep, the player who is not having or had the connection issues back in the game. We can jump into the action in just a few seconds. Don't want to jump in when the countdown's running in. Want to give you guys like pretty much straight in. Bam, battle starts. There we go. So let's do that. Boom, as I'm talking about. There you go. 1 second on the clock.
I told you you're in a charge, man.
eSuba, red team attacking, UTOPIA, blue team defending. Now, yep. Maraka's back in there.
As we've previously
No,
seen,
he's not. Shoku's in for Maraka.
eSuba is crossing the rail. That's why you have a reserve player, so when something like this happens, you still can play on.
So they were doing a choo-choo train, but it was to boost the IS-7 into position with the speed of the Batchats. Or they're like sand people and they're moving in a line to hide their numbers.
Well, this is an interesting because they can use this I-7 as a battering ram in a forest, and they can play rather aggressive. They're clearing that part. In case that eSuba actually plays with the RT hidden there. So you can see they're using I-7 really as a train here,
Wow.
trying to fan out the opponents, and STRV following closely. Well, he will take a hold down position behind the bushes here. But Papapavian is making sure that they're not getting kept in that moment, because you can see how is he spotting.
Yep, it's an interesting push there all the way down that flank, and it's sadly going to be all for naught as there is nobody from eSuba down in that bottom corner. So it looked pretty, and I guess it was effective in that they didn't take any damage.
Still, they got a lot of info, and they kept map covered at all times because Papapavian was paying attention on the other side. So if they saw anyone approaching the cap, they would just do a hard left immediately and go there.
And now you can just see everyone going, whoa, back boys, back, there's nobody here.
But there is a really slow reactions from eSuba, because we said it many times before. eSuba.INTEL is their full name, so that's why they have that logo there. They're just taking the ground slowly, but they already used up about 2 minutes to do it. So
Gathering up here for posturing on base 2. Base 1 in complete lockdown from UTOPIA. Now, Mojo, if you're eSuba, how are you going to advance from here?
Well, they have an RTP, so they're playing slow, but they're already positioning Grile on A0, which is a decent choice because they're going to counter anyone like hold down tanks like a Dynamo coming to shoot them and decap them from there. So what will be important for us to see is actually who will they place in that cap, because the only way for them to do anything here is to trigger a cap. They cannot really cross the rail and fight because they have an RTP and it's just not going to work.
Andrew up in this bush, covering across onto the top crossing. But UTOPIA, they're not playing peekaboo at the moment because they don't need to. They'll know something's going on at base 2 when a cap starts, and then they can actually take positioning because they've got people spread all across the board for that.
Yeah, like having UKets going for the hold down here, covered by Grilla in the back. This is rather good, of course, for them. UTOPIA, I'm not sure, like giving them a lot of ground at the moment. Not being able to do anything about it, because once the fight starts, this STRV is good only for one thing, and that's backing up your teammates when someone peaks, but he cannot really be an active participant of a fight.
He's doing a heck of a lot of blind fire there out from that E2 position area, I think it is, yep, on the edge of the road. UKET's starting to push up now, as is looking to try and get any kind of proxy spots over the hill. He's going to spot out Rulazek, and Rulazek spots him in return actually, and doesn't get spotted himself.
Combo on Badshot, he is being the main capper at the moment. Of course, the cap can always be boosted by several guys, but a rather split setup here by eSuba. I'm not sure how much I really like it, because they're covering that hill with like 2 mediums. If there is aggressive push by UTOPIA coming from the lower side, they cannot really do anything about it. They're kind of covered by that Grille from all the angles once the enemy comes, but they might actually lose 1 or 2 tanks before that happens. So Dynamo has a job to close his ranks and join the position where the UKET is, but he will not 100% know where Grilla is. He can just guess, and RT and Grilla both will aim there.
Oh, can you get that? No. No is a short answer, as UKETS actually gets hit there in return. Now we're down to 50 seconds on the cap circle. At what point are eSuba going to wait before they put someone else in? And at what point are UTOPIA going to come off for reset? UKETS goes over for the reset, takes a huge amount of damage. He's on 8 health left. He's tracked, he's got no commander. No one can get the angle on him to shoot. Oh, they can! Bihu gets the kill. First blood going there to UTOPIA.
There was really careless pick by him and not really needed, and we can see the DPM of STRV now, how it came to the effect when someone picks.
Okay, now let's actually have a look, or actually, sorry, a listen to the team speak here of eSuba to see how things are going in this match.
Jako my nemáme teď ani pressure na cap.
Přátelíček do capu, jako.
Asi jo, Avor, ty se posuň sem.
Ty vole.
Budu pak asi pushat přes kombata, jako jestli budou něco.
Nebětka ti bude slyšet. Já nevidím ho tam.
Do těch chřáků tady mám. Můžeš tu sedmičku v roli?
Spíš ne.
Kde mám stát? Tady to je retardovaný, jako.
Já bych fakt pušnul něco.
Bude píkovat s tou sedmičkou hned.
Kdybych teď byl na tom hillu, tak asi udělám víc než tady, jako.
Kombate, zkus tady udělat kolečko. Jestli tam něco rozsvítíš, za cenu hitu.
Nad. Nevidím nic.
OK. Korsi, pojď sem. Pušem to tady. Asi, to tak viděl. Ten Druz Grillou buď tady, kombaty taky tady zkus.
Pojď, pětka vyjela. Na blind. Tři minuty.
No.
Já mám mapečka, tak jdem za
to nevadí. Tady pojedem. Tady pojedete ve 3. S tou grillou možná taky sjeď ještě. Když tam není. Takže to možná bude rek.
Bude rek, tak kráva, kámo. Jsem měl možná počkat.
Ještě počkejte, až bude nakapováno.
Pak nebude čas. Pak
Co kdybych tam, no tam ne, nic nemůžu.
Tak já jedu, tak kluky nejeď taky, že jo?
Kina
Mám taky?
taky.
Okay.
Vy tady pak zkuste do boku dát tu E5. Já začnu gapovat.
Tak jdem.
Tam bude brzo. No, dobrý.
Teď.
Tohle zajďte dolů, ať vás nebudu střelit ty zase. Zajďte dolů,
Aha.
tu sedmičku. Tam mají rozpozený.
E5 zabiju. To co, hrekt.
Sedmičku. Paráda.
Dělám to střevo.
Okay, that was a bit of a unfortunate push there from eSuba Mojo right into the guns of Utopia.
Well, they were pretty much without choice. They knew they cannot cap anymore, so they chose to try to surprise them. The only one surprise there was me by their mild reaction on TeamSpeak.
It was very calm TeamSpeak for a team that had more or less just tried to make a push and completely failed. It was like, oh well.
You can be sure when I'm ordering a push or something like
Yes,
that happens, you can hear me in the next room, man.
We've walked into the room while Mojo has been field commanding in Clan Wars, and wow, Daki as well. To be honest, I've heard Daki tear someone up like something awful on TeamSpeak, but you Mojo, Jekyll and Hyde, big time. A little quiet, unassuming Mojo, and then boom, field commander Mojo, with the voice of 1,000 gods. But hey,
I'm heard of
eSuba.
at least always.
eSuba quite passive there would be the exact word I would say for the way they played that one.
It was, I don't know, limp all the way. Something like they're not really doing anything. They just took position, tried to cap, made a mistake with Kranwagen, and the round just went away. It just didn't feel right all the time.
Now we're going to go to Himmelsdorf for our second map. eSuba going to need to try and step up a gear, really. Can't give Utopia any kind of lead. They'll take the lead and they'll run with it. And they are one of the most aggressive teams out there.
Yes, but we said that eSuba actually never played Prokhorivka before in this season, so this was not really highly unexpected what happened now. But on Himmelsdorf, they were usually snatching at least one round from the enemy. So we will see, will they manage to do it so now. You can see the damage. Oh, Bihu, finally you're doing damage. Oh my god, I was already questioning myself.
Bihu, Kolosaud, and Mocha, their top 3 damage dealers from Utopia. Next 3 all coming from eSuba. Lukin, Andrew, Combat, and then Rulizek for Utopia.
Not much damage done there by any of these guys. Not a huge chunk of it. Anyways, Froli over Spratelicek, rather modest influence on the game.
Yeah, and bat chats as well. I mean, that's only 2 shots, only connecting with one of them. Not so great, gentlemen, not so great. Now, going into Himmelsdorf, I mean, I'm expecting something aggressive from Utopia.
Utopia is defending first, but yes, of course. In defense, you can always also attack. That is not something unheard of. Actually, quite a lot of teams, when they want to avoid any kind of prolonged game, they just go for it. But I don't think it's necessary in this case.
I think they just play passive, play sit back.
I think they can wait out and just rely that maybe they will just outplay eSuba player by player, because that's always a possibility.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the lineups for the vehicles that we'll see here being used on Himmelsdorf. Now, what can you tell us about them, Mojo?
eSuba playing a rather fast lineup here. We've seen several times today. 350Bs Batshot, 405, TD 113 and 3090, while Utopia is playing also with 405 and that IS-3. IS-3 we've seen several times. It's usually kept on around the top cap like a sacrificial goat, because you need some time to kill it, and if he plays well, that time is not that fast. I mean, depends, are you free kill or not? And more or less, I don't know, it does look like Utopia has a setup that can deal with it.
Battle of the FVs here. Could be interesting. Sometimes the defensive team usually take the 215B, don't they, rather than
The dangerous thing is here because eSuba has those 350Bs and we've seen how these tanks can work. They can just go that Pac-Man way, and if they catch one tank of UTOPIA off guard, they can just go and chew their way through the entire team.
Okay, now eSuba 2-0 down to UTOPIA. UTOPIA looking strong here, to be honest. Can they make it 3-0? Or are eSuba going to bring it back to 2-1? Well, there's one way to find out. Let's jump into Himmelsdorf. eSuba on the red team attacking into UTOPIA on the blue team defending. Looks like eSuba are all going up to the hill.
Yeah, this is the tactic we actually seen last time, if you remember, and it was successfully used, and Ding actually crashed, or whoever played, he was over there. But anyways, on the rails, UTOPIA is taking over only with Bihu and Rulezik. So they're trying to make a kind of a defense toward the city, preventing any kind of a big push, while still maintaining the line of sight on the rail, which is okay. But as I've said, if you're too far split and there is not a huge shot by TD, you can get in a serious problem.
Little trap here against that. Papa Powan is right in the middle of that road as well, so he's...
It's Swift rush the hill against Gohard, if
he's
you remember.
Behind the rubble. Okay, so he's behind the rubble.
Nice connection.
One shot, 357. Next one into UChet.
Woo!
Wow!
Whoa!
Whoa! Easy, Tiger. Stunt driving coming out from UChet's there. Whoa! He's going all the way. UChet's, you nutter with the driving there. Papa Powan just been ignoring it as 3, but he's got 2 connections out. UChet's now is getting a lot of damage in his AMX 50B. I wonder how much of it was actually done from his driving. We see Maraka getting focused at the moment here. He's lost his driver. He's getting shot in the face as the tanks surround him here. UKS is down to 1 shot now, but he can clip out Maraka. Maraka needs to make this 1 shot. Lukin's going to get him. Oh, Maraka survives and actually gets the kill on UKS.
He will do 1 more shot.
The rest of UTOPIA coming back round here. Pratalicek getting the kill on Maraka. How quickly can UTOPIA get their tanks in the battle here to sweep up? Overus. Bihu wanted to... Oh, he could have rammed him. He realised as he sliced past him. Takes the shot. Lukin now shooting into Bihu. Frawley gets the kill on Papa Powan. Mojo, it looks like actually eSuba are kind of going ahead a little bit now. But they just lost Frawley.
eSuba is already stopped, so the Lukin is a single shooter. He cannot really do anything about these guys. So they will safely run away and go and reload. FC Dynamo is coming in with a full clip and Colesoid. I think the balloon is already winded up. I think eSuba already lost this push, and UTOPIA should be more than able to handle it now.
Andrew and Pratalicek wanting to come round and clip into FC Dynamo. They do so at the moment. FC Dynamo goes down. We just saw another tank go down right in front, but no, FC Dynamo survives. Pratalicek is going to clip him out. FC Dynamo with a sliver of health, 42, but he's on a reload. Pratalicek's on a reload. Colosoid is going to come in and erase Pratalicek in just a few seconds.
Bihu is still there. He's clipping in, but he's taken out by Combat. That's a big hit.
Colosoid in return. It's the battle of the FVs here. Now, who's going to win? Who's going to survive? Well, Bihu has managed to survive against Lukin. Dynamo missed his shot. Combat takes another one, no. Dynamo does it. Dynamo wins.
That's a great movie, actually.
And then that's it. So, just going to have to change that a little bit there. Here you go. So, it is 3-0 UTOPIA. That was a
rather fast round there.
Scrappy fight as well.
eSuba tried to push in, but they just didn't play it out the best. Honestly, Mrakar survived for far too long. Also, we saw that finishing blow that should have been on FC Dynamo. A point-blank shot missed. That kind of things should never happen.
I called it as well. I said FC Dynamo goes down, and I was like, FC Dynamo is still standing, because it was like he was dead. He was sure to be dead. Like.
And that shot that was missed actually allowed him to do 1 more kill after that and a couple of more shots in a process. So that's not something you want to do. Without that, UTOPIA might actually be in a problem because most of HP was on FV405.
It's FC Dynamo that actually does the most damage. Lukin was brawling right in the middle of that fight, though, so he was like spitting fire back and forward. 8 shots for 3,000 damage.
This
Nicely
is
done there.
karma, man. I sold Dynamo and he's doing damage now, of course. And Bihu is still in my team and he's, I don't know, kind of trying to shoot people. At least he has 2 kills.
At least it has 2 kills. I mean, you can see here, Bihu, I mean, compared to the first round, Bihu 7th place, 1,400 damage. On that first round on Prokhorov got 7th place, had only like 400 damage.
Pretty much. But at the moment, UTOPIA is sitting conveniently on a 3-0 score. That's a rather decisive advantage at the moment. And I'm not sure that eSuba is really kind of team that knows how to come back from that. That's rather a big advantage for the enemy.
Yeah, I mean, 4 players there from eSuba on the bottom of the page, and it's looking a bit one-sided at the moment, with UTOPIA being able to step up 3-0 here against eSuba. eSuba need to, I mean, how did they come back from this, Mojo?
Play like GRS?
Play like GRS.
At the moment,
Yeah,
they're not.
take a leaf out of their book.
At the moment, they're not performing. Like they were playing better in some other matches. At the moment, this is just some standard things they're doing and nothing really specific. No good reads on the game. Not a great focus fire. A kind of sluggish play, and it's not paying off because UTOPIA is very aggressive team. You can expect aggressive plays by them, and you can expect fast responses by them. So it's just not worth it to play like that against them. You should play more bold.
This is very different from the team that we saw. Actually, they defeated Gohard, didn't they?
Yeah, I was just checking, and actually the difference between Oops and eSuba, I guess, is only that they actually beat Oops. But actually in those game difference, Oops is better.
I mean, they've got fairly similar... they both won 3, they both lost 3 at the moment, so it's going on just win-loss ratios. It's not clear to predict a winner. The only difference is that UTOPIA, their last 2 matches, they won 1, then they lost 1, and eSuba lost their last 2 matches. So it's looking likely that eSuba might be losing their 3rd match in a row here.
Yes, but we've seen eSuba play some really hard matches in really, let's say, fast fashion. Like they know how to be aggressive with interesting tactics and so on. While eSuba was mainly always relying on good counterattacks, good reading on the game over the longer period of time. And if that worked out, they would win the match. If it wouldn't, they would just crumble. At the moment, they're just getting handled. This is a 3-0, and it does look like maybe even 5-0 at the end.
Yep, well, let's have a look at the lineups here going into round 2 for Himmelsdorf. See which vehicles are going to be used, and again, FE 4005 for UTOPIA.
UTOPIA playing with the 2 10 destroyers in attack, FV and Grille and Kranwagen. This is really hill-centered kind of play, while eSuba has much larger potential here for attack than they do actually with those 2 VZs and 113. Might be actually push from eSuba on the start of the game.
Okay, eSuba going to potentially go on aggressive here. 3 Chinese tanks. Bit chats, AMX50B. Well, how's it going to go? Let's find out as we can jump into round 2 here on Himmelsdorf, where UTOPIA lead eSuba 3-0. UTOPIA blue team now on the attack. eSuba red team now on the defense.
Everyone is playing mind games today, so why wouldn't UTOPIA also? Because they are going down with those tanks. Who needs the hill?
You made the #1 mistake of trying to predict what's going to happen.
Hey, it's my job to predict based on tanks, but I will be wrong quite a lot during this season, I would say. This is a season of surprises, so why not? It's entertaining.
Well, we do have, later on in the match, we can look forward to UTOPIA's TeamSpeak, but not just quite yet, because it's a bit too early in the match and nothing's happening. Looking, actually, driving out in the open. Mate, what kind of spot is that? He gets shot at twice there, and what's going on? Let's actually listen into the TeamSpeak here of UTOPIA, because I want to know what's going on and what they're doing here at the bottom of the map.
Ja jadę właśnie, ja wycofuję stąd i jadę na
Может,
Gillarda.
может, тихо.
Oni nawet nie
Bez
wiedzą,
ekady.
że ja wycofałem.
Да.
Нам нужно
Мы
поднять снова на
так.
7, бэшки не проехали без света. Вот это нужно светить.
Я
Факт,
смотрю
факт.
сюда, только вот это вижу.
To trzeba spotować. Mordownie, żeby tam beczki nie wjechały.
Не-не, Маракер
А я?
убивает, нам надо сейчас...
Я będę spotował wjazd.
Dobra, okej.
Tu spotuję, tu.
Ракер назад, засоединить.
Да-да-да.
Кто?
Бабан.
Кто?
To!
Что?
Не делай это.
Braka?
Dobra.
Это игра врага?
Потрольте.
Тихо, подождите.
Да. Te beczki mogły tutaj też, tu.
Я сейчас секунду.
Mogę, ja zaraz...
Сейчас я...
Hila.
А ви мені тут сидите ділите?
Jest
Jest
bat,
bat.
jest bat, on minus jedna.
А ВЗ под меня не подставляется, если я вот отсюда выйду?
Nie
Уехал.
podstawiajcie.
Ten bat minus jedną ma, tak?
Tak,
Nie
ten
ty
bat
beczki,
ma-
bez krysi na
A,
źle.
to dwa baty są.
No właśnie.
Ja tu
Bat,
dopiero
tu.
wyjechałem.
Чек.
Ja tu wyjazd będę spotował dopiero.
Не, я не светился.
Я не
Kurde,
светился.
jakby teraz tam... Jakby Bichu zajechał?
Bat minus dwie.
Поехали,
może-
это...
ale
Да,
on może
tylko
ten,
jedu,
on
Tylko,
może
że ja nie
bez
wiem, czy tam
этого.
ten, czy beczek
Tu
nie
bek,
ma, nie?
tak,
Właśnie jak tam beczki będą, bo on tak twardo
Ten
stoi.
bat już tu jedzie, ten bat już jedzie po tego.
У них тут два ВЗ. Сейчас я перееду, подожди.
Рака, не можешь
А, не, есть
Вот
тут,
бат
да.
переезжает. Они сейчас будут пушить,
Не.
давить на семерку. На семерку сейчас поедут.
Да.
A wy tutaj
Oni
nie
tu.
spój...
Да, oni tu.
Rulet.
Da, oni tu jadą.
To.
Pik
Rules,
na
dawaj do
wieżę
nas.
na niego. Piknij na niego na wieżę, on tam stoi.
Bichu, do nas
No.
musisz chyba.
Jadę.
Albo po niego. Od
Давай,
razu
Биху,
tak.
возвращайся.
Raszować go?
Да, вот это будем сейчас.
Oni tu pikną zaraz tu.
Да, да,
A,
да,
заедем.
bo ich się nie da skrosować.
Я вот это
chwila, nie?
отсвечу.
Проедь просто.
Da się, no tu jest 113.
Jest bat, uciekł.
Oni tu zapuszczą tu. 100%. Bat,
Он с нас.
Бат.
WZ.
Давай, Биху, спускайся сюда, едь сюда.
Da, jadę, da.
Tu mogą być beczki.
Mogą być, kurwa.
13.
113 KD. A no, tu na mnie będzie grała. Ja nie mogę.
У вас по
tutaj.
ХП как там?
Ja nie mogę tutaj wjechać.
Moja kara na
Блядь,
dole.
поехал.
Bat.
Поехали, короче, надо ехать.
Я
Jedete na
засветился.
mnie.
Нет,
No,
Jak
Бэшки.
oni puszują, musimy jechać. Kurde.
Ясно.
oni tu jadą.
Dwie beczki.
Я нам...
Weź.
Minus dwie.
Tu na mogli.
Minus 3 bat.
Дал, убил бэшку.
Ja mam 10 sekund.
Давайте, доигрывайте сейчас.
Ja zginę.
Помог сам.
Ja wiem.
Попробуй мука отдавать.
WZ KD.
Da.
Валан
так
КД
нормально.
тоже.
Tu
Бат
bat.
минус один.
У меня 10 секунд.
Поехали вас зато убивать сейчас.
Бат еще едет. Попробуй
Ja po
бэшку
WZ, ja po
контроль.
WZ.
Я убил ВЗ сейчас.
Бэшка
Dobra,
проехал.
grajcie, to jeszcze do wygrania. To
Нормально.
jest do igrania, da.
Po rule zajedzie bat.
На
Już,
меня едут.
4
баты.
sekundy, 3.
Я сейчас сдохну.
Adin,
Ta rule zdechnie.
ja dał.
Найс.
Ja ujeżdżam.
Минус 2 этот бат. Он минус 2. Растаскивайте, доигрывайте.
Я могу WZ убить.
Da,
Попробовать.
dawaj.
Ja
Tam
nie
beczka
ucieknę
jeszcze.
stąd chyba.
Well, there we go. Sounds like Maraca was really worried in that position, Mojo.
It sounded like he kind of lost himself for a moment there, but aggressive play by eSuba paid off completely. UTOPIA actually didn't respond well with that reaction. There was only one thing that brought them back in a game, that was shot by Colosoid, that pretty much deleted Andrew from this map and onto the next one.
That was a dank shot. We were actually killing ourselves laughing about it, being able to listen behind the scenes here, obviously, with you guys listening into TeamSpeak of UTOPIA, with a little bit of Russian, a little bit of Polish, and a little bit of English of Maraca in there as well, speaking. But UTOPIA up against the ropes here. It's not going to be an easy one to come back from. You would really need Colosoid to delete Pratilicek and take no damage in return, and not be in a situation to be shot at as well. But I mean, it's a free damage farm from these tanks down the bottom. It probably looks like to try and get an angle here.
I mean, there is still potential here for UTOPIA. There is 4 minutes and there is a lot of tanks on really low HP from eSuba. Still, they have 5 guns compared to the 3 of UTOPIA, unless Colosoid somehow deletes like Pratelicek from equation. It's gonna be really hard. You looking? See
Ow. Ow, 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 ow,
and
ow.
looking is literally not even covered by anyone there. So it's 4 on 3. It's still not done.
4 on 3. How much damage can Colosoid do without taking any? Well, it looks like one shot. Nope. Pratilicek with the deletion there of the FV. That is the beginning of the end here. as Bihu goes in against Frawley. He's clipping him here. He's got him behind the castle. Actually, he's missed with that one. Ah, one shot each. Both of them on a one shot.
Yeah,
Who's
but
gonna get it?
Pratelicek is almost full HP, and there is only 3 minutes left.
Oh, low roll. 350. Wow.
So
What a horrible roll.
whatever happens there, Bihu is trying to run away now. Muka, I don't know. I mean, he can take out Combat in one shot, but Combat will not go even near him anywhere. Pratelicek will go because he can take a shot and laugh about it.
Pratelicek, you've got it all to do here, mate. You can win it for your team. You know what to do. Just get in there and do it. Get it done.
There we go. Muka will be taken out from the equation, and this is the first game for eSuba in this match. Maybe a comeback.
Maybe a comeback. 3-1. The comeback is on. The dream is real, boys.
Whatever happens, it will not be a potato score.
It will not be potato. It will not be 5 potato. 5-2 potato.
Nope.
Wait, when did we start calling 0 potato? Is it because it looks like a potato?
Potato, potato.
Tomato, tomato.
Yes.
We're just going to call the whole thing off, Mojo.
You can.
Now, top damage for this one. Pratelicek. I'm going to go with Pratelicek.
405.
What's that mean?
I don't know. 405 had that really great shot. I just don't know did he do anything after
I
that.
don't know if it,
So it's probably not him, but we'll see.
let's have a look at the post-battle stats and see who was top.
Muka.
Nuts. That's happy for me. Muka's in my team, so I don't mind that.
Well, Bifu is on 5th place, so I guess it's not that bad.
Hope
can live
Maraka's
with it.
okay, because, I mean, Maraka didn't sound too well there when we had TeamSpeak active.
I wonder why was that disconnection.
I mean, somebody asked Maraka, and he didn't reply, so maybe he had a DC earlier on. I mean, it happens, it happens. Sometimes you gotta go, you gotta go. I was, a hand in my heart was wondering which team would do something to potentially troll when we had TeamSpeak open.
FC
I was
Dynamo there
expecting
on the
music or
last
something
one.
in the background. But no, instead we get somebody farting.
Andrew on 13th spot there being deleted from the map by 405. Papapavian did some more damage than those 250Bs. Amazing.
Don't have a look at the garage chat, Mojo. It's quite impressive. I don't know if you can see it here. Yep, we're going to go into our next map. We're going to go into Mines.
Special map.
Special map for a special person. Mines is actually turning into one of the longest maps, which is interesting because it's one of the smallest maps that we have.
Yeah, it's super hard now because it's not easy to rush. Teams cannot really rush the hill from the lower defending side anymore unless they just use the normal conventional approach because of that, let's say, change in the map. When the boost from the lower side is disabled, they just have to drive normal, which takes them to lose a lot of HP.
Seems to be from garage chat that Maraka is actually admitting to that sound coming from him.
You're really, really obsessed by that, man.
I'm just, hey, it was...
It was just a great timing, man. You should just look at it like that. A great timing for
it
an
didn't sound
entertainment.
human. It sounded like it came from an elephant or a hippo or something. It was definitely the kind of thing you would ask somebody if they're okay afterwards. That's for sure. It's good that his teammates were concerned about him. God, I'm not looking forward to TeamSpeak tomorrow, to be honest, because now the other teams are watching that and go, what can we have planned? And the fact that Daki's going to be sitting beside me, because Daki will just lose it at something like that.
That's good.
Let's have a look at the lineups going into Mines, and we can see the vehicles that the teams are bringing with them.
eSuba in offense using
Double
RT.
row.
This is a rather standard lineup. We have Lorraine and 2 TVPs, Budgets 103. Double grill from UTOPIA in defense. We've seen that plenty times also, but 3 TVPs combined with that and T54 light. No, we haven't seen that one. It's gonna be really amazing to see how they're actually performing in the start with this.
T54 light. What are they? Can that do the boost? Could it get up there?
No,
No.
no, absolutely not.
I don't know what can get up there, Mojo.
Batasha Toz.
Okay, let's jump into Mines. Now, here we go. eSuba, red team attacking to UTOPIA, blue team defending.
There is a big push here by eSuba forces. 4, even 5 of them coming there, but they're using conventional way to climb up. Quite a lot of TVPs and Bihu coming up. It might be a big fight here.
Uh-oh,
Probably failed.
Uh-oh, double fail. That could cost him dearly. UKS actually gets a lot of damage out before he drops down. Andrew's taking a lot of damage in his TVP, but Shoku and Colosoid, actually the damage coming out from UKS wasn't that great, and now eSuba are really struggling because they do not have positioning at all here, Mojo, like you
Double
said.
Grilla, look at this idea. They actually have them so they would catch someone crossing off and just annihilate him with those while the TVPs are trying to take the hill. I'm pretty sure they did not count on taking hill so cheaply in UTOPIA. Now they're probably like laughing themselves out. And I can tell you, I'm sure Mrakar probably ate pasul today, so he will do the performance, man.
How do you come back from this, Mojo? How do you come back from this? I mean, it's Shoku that's in the lineup again. Maraka's not there. Perhaps he's gone to the bathroom.
After the diet, for sure. Anyways, Rulezik and Shoku, they're just waiting for anyone to enter. I mean, Suba is just locked out now. This is a big problem. They will actually have to gather forces somewhere, but Papapavian is spotting them from the lower side to see if there is rotation there, which would be an obvious exit, of course. And unless there is some great shot by Combat, it's gonna be super hard for them to do anything. It will all go in one way to just push the hill and hope for the best.
eSuba are the attacking team here, would you believe? UTOPIA are defending, and UTOPIA have a stranglehold on the map right now, and eSuba are backed into this corner with nowhere to go.
But this is just a great misplay here by eSuba players because they failed the climb. Otherwise, they would have all the fight. Ooh, look at this, Frawley!
Frawley, cheeky, holding up that position for ages, getting shots out into FC Dynamo. Frawley's able to get off his entire clip and gets the kill, but in return, they have lost Frawley and they've lost Andrew as UTOPIA turn their guns back to eSuba, but eSuba actually have the advantage at the moment.
Honestly, who cares if Dynamo died? He's a Grille and he's not on my fantasy team. But the positions are gained for UTOPIA here, so they can really do whatever they want now. Because the only person proxy spotting them is down. And they even took Andrew in the process.
So HPs are roughly the same, but UTOPIA has the positional as Muka gets the kill onto Combat there. Pratilicek now being focused down. UTOPIA are wrestling control of this. They smell blood. They can tell that they're going to go 4-1 up in just a few seconds, and they're wanting to end this one quickly as Overus is getting focused down now as well.
Wow. Well, this is pretty much the end of this game, honestly, because that RTP's dying was the last thing that could turn the favors in their side. Like, looking at UKS here, they're already spotted. There is all kind of crossfire angles here by UTOPIA. There is virtually nothing they can do unless UTOPIA misplays heavily.
Muka mountain goating there to get a shot into the back of Ukets, who tracks him but can't finish him off. Pratilicek is going to get finished off here by Papapawan! Pow! By Papapawan!
Well, not so much power because it's only T54 light this time.
Pow!
Exactly.
By Papapawan!
Rather easy round here for UTOPIA, more or less given to them by eSuba misplays.
Yeah, that double fail on the hill, pretty much through the match.
Amazing. Amazing. Like, highly unexpected also. I am not quite sure, did they just give up because they saw TVPs going up and they were like, we will not have reload, we're going to get handed or something like that? I didn't see that moment, so I can't judge, was it just a fail or it was a decision to turn and not climb up?
When we first started, or after when tier 10s were still, I'll go back in time here and start that whole sentence again. When we made the switch to tier 10s, the bat chats ruled the roost. It was bat chats everywhere, and it would be generally Rush Hill with bat chats. And it was a couple of teams brought TVPs and eliminated the bat chats because the TVPs loaded quicker. And since then, you don't get the same hill push that you used to.
Yes, but TVPs are used passively, not to push the hill, because they have a large silhouette and it's easy to connect them with every other tank. I mean, UTOPIA, I believe they actually had quite a lot of luck with this.
Shoku coming in there for Maraka and coming out top damage there for UTOPIA.
I mean, it's quite obvious with surviving tanks and damage done that UTOPIA will have the top hand here. But now they will be on attack on mines, so we will see what will they be able to do. I mean, after we see the second page where there will be majority of eSuba forces located, Combat 0 damage there, rather obvious, where the problem was they simply had no angles how to even use him.
I have Combat in my fantasy team.
Well, usually he has decent rounds.
Yeah.
Pat on the back.
Ow. Well, UTOPIA looking to perhaps end this one quickly, Mojo. Match point here on Mines. Is it going to be a 3-map match? Or is it going to be a 4 and potentially tiebreaker?
Well, attack on Mines is never a easy thing to do, so there is nothing given here. Of course, the eSuba will try to fight their way all the way to the end. If they manage to win this round, then we will watch some Ghost Town. And Ghost Town are highly brawl maps, so everything is doable.
I think if it went to Ghost Town, it'd favour UTOPIA, to be honest.
Well, I'm pretty sure they will get at least one of those 2 rounds.
Yeah,
But still,
possibly.
Still, we've seen strange things happen during this season, and it might happen again. Yes, I'm getting a bit tired, so my tongue is kind of getting sleepy.
Don't worry, nobody struggles with English language more than me, Mojo. I can fully understand if somebody trips over their words. Even right now, there's people in chat going, what is he saying? I can't understand the guy with the beard, and I love you guys for saying that. Thank you very much.
I sent Ryan some video of 2 Scottish people in an elevator the other day, and he's like, I even didn't tell him what I sent him. Like, check the Facebook. Is it an elevator thing? And I felt like ground is opening below me, because apparently for the last couple of years, people are sending that to him once per month, at least. So please do so.
People still come up to me and say, hey, can you say 11, please? I'm like, no.
Just look it up. It's hilarious.
Let's have a look at the lineups, Mojo, here for round 2 on Mines. Is this going to be a quick one for UTOPIA? Is it going to be a 3-map match? Interesting.
UTOPIA playing 3 butt-shots and 1 TVP. This is really similar to even the lineup that Kazan had, if you remember. And just a bit more mobility there. While eSuba is playing rather fast lineup in defense with 1-1-3, 2 TVPs. They can really even push with this if they want to.
eSuba could be going just the exact same time as we just saw from UTOPIA, aggressive on the defense. Let's find out, because it's round 2 here on Mines. The teams are ready to go, so are we. eSuba, red team defending into UTOPIA, blue team attacking. Now, UTOPIA need to either cap base 1 or base 2, or they need to kill everyone in eSuba. eSuba can either kill everyone in UTOPIA, or they can just let that clock run down to 0 and they win.
Kolestot and Rulazik are climbing up. They are not climbing up, and this is not an... Whoa.
It's the exact same, although the damage being done here at the start. UKS might actually go down here. He's on 23 health. He has to be careful a teammate doesn't drive into him. Andrew took a lot of damage there, as did Frawley as well. eSuba take the hill, but they took a hell of a lot of HP for it, as Overus gets shot at as well in the T49.
I think Dynamo just misplayed heavily because he blindly went to the water side where Combat was waiting, and he picked him up for free. If he actually came back to join his tanks from the other side, he would be still in a game like this. He's just a tank less. UKS maybe on low HP, but he's still alive, and eSuba is controlling the game at the moment, but there is a counter-attack by UTOPIA.
UTOPIA pushing back ground here onto the hill. Now, you have to be careful. You've still got Papa Pau in, and I'm sure he's going to introduce himself to Lukin in just a couple of seconds. Overus coming in. He's looking to try and connect with one of these bat chats. One hit from that T49 could do a lot of damage. Maraka does get dropped here. Colosoid gets the kill onto Overus, as now the push comes back from eSuba. Now they've off reload. Andrew and Lukin are going to try and get a kill on someone, but Rulacek from the back picks up Andrew and turns around onto Pratalicek as well. This could be the golden card, but no, Combat's coming in to counter Rulacek. Everywhere you see a tank coming in, there's another tank, but UTOPIA right now are coming out on top here.
It doesn't matter, because I think Rulacek just saved the match for UTOPIA. It was a good push. He completely ignored Combat for a purpose, because he knew by fighting him he would gain nothing. He instead chose to sacrifice himself and take out 2 guns out of equation here. Now, UKETS on 23 HP has shells. Who cares? Combat is on reload. So UTOPIA actually has double HP advantage, and they have more guns.
UKETS gets a shot in there. 2 shots into Colosoid for nothing back in return. 3 shots into Colosoid. Can he get the 4th? Nope, that one goes into the ground as Combat wants to come around and finish him off, but he's behind the wreckage. Papa Powan's going to come off, reload in a second, and arc a shell over into his face, as Bihu's just going to say, guys, I'm going to take the hits for you, come round and finish me off. Well, sorry, avenge me even. Don't finish me off. Oh dear God, what a mismouth play there.
This is just a game of throws at the moment for UTOPIA. Big misplay by Colosoid there. I mean, losing so much HP, and now TVP is coming in action. Finally, Papa Pavian took him out, or he could have won the round.
And there we have it. UTOPIA win 5-1, 3 maps, 5 points, and a win. UTOPIA vital points on the board. eSuba, that was a really rough performance from you guys. Probably the worst performance I've seen so far.